Alright, so before I get into this, I want to mention that I only have some of the event towers in this and not all of them, so I just want to apologize because I didn't really feel like adding them all in. But let's just get right into the rankings. So the Brawler's in a really weird spot right now. He's kind of just okay for early defense. I'm going to put him, I think, in D tier. He's probably the worst gem tower because his niche is kind of, not really niche, but his ability is kind of okay with his repositioning. I think he could be better for early defense. And then next we got regular Crook Boss. So I think I'm gonna put him in B tier. I mean, he's good right now. I wouldn't say he's great, especially with the nerfs he's gotten. I don't know if it was a regular Crook Boss who got nerfed too after the Kingpin update, but I know the Golden one did. He lost flying detection, so I think place. Ugh, I think B is a good spot for him. So Commander is obviously going to be our first S. I mean, 45% fire rate buff constantly is pretty much is honestly just amazing. And chaining can be hard, but I feel like if you have good internet and you're just good at chaining, then it's pretty much just a constant stream of fire rate. So Commando is, I would say, B tier as well. I think right now he's pretty good. I mean, he's a decent DPS tower. I wouldn't say A tier. There are definitely better towers for DPS, but he's not a bad pick if you bring him because he has, I think, I don't think he has hidden detection, but I think he has almost all of them. So yeah, he has all three detections with lead using his bombs. So I'd say he's pretty decent. I mean, I think his bombs are a little lackluster. I think they could be better, but overall, I think he's a pretty decent. So for Cryomancer, I would say also B tier. I would say lower B tier. I think she's decent. I mean, I haven't seen her being used in honestly a long time. She kind of fell out of the meta a lot, especially after Krampus's Revenge. I think she might have been even good before that or after that. But yeah, I'd say she's in a pretty decent spot now. I feel like there are better freeze towers, like I would say Frost Blast or maybe Sledger even. But the next tower we have is Accelerator. So I would put him lower A tier. I think right now he's pretty good. He's definitely not how he was like, for the past 5 years, like 2020, 2025. He was absolutely dominating the meta, best CPS tower easily. But now I'm glad with what they did with him. He's a lot more balanced. But I think his overcharge can be really annoying the earlier levels. So I actually have not used him in a while because of that, but I think right now he's in a really balanced spot. So for Ace Pilot, I would say I would say lower B tier. Maybe yeah, lower B tier. I mean, it's pretty good. It's not used a lot. I feel like it's not used enough actually. But he's pretty good. I've seen him used in a lot of trial chamber strategies, so I think for that, he's obviously very good. And then its DPS is actually, really good with it. I think having one of the highest cost efficiencies in the game, which you should go watch my video about. But it's pretty good. I should use it more honestly. I think it's a really fun tower. Its gimmick is really cool. And yeah. Now Demo Man, I mean, it's okay. I might actually move a Brawler lower B tier. But I mean, it's just starter tower, maybe even C. I'm putting it in C. It's not that great, but even its golden version, I don't think it's so that great either. I know there are a lot of people who do like his golden version, but me personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, Electroshocker, I'm definitely gonna put in A tier. I think honestly, this is one of the best stun towers of all time. And then there's also Tesla right here, but I feel like people say he's a lot worse than Tesla, but I honestly would have to disagree. He can ramp up a lot of damage if you get down a lot of them. His stunning is really good too, as well as I think I don't know if this is the case anymore, but I'm pretty sure he has lead and flying. Yeah, okay, so he has lead and hidden, so he already has two good detections. And overall, if you get a lot of them down, they can absolutely shred everything. I remember playing with my friend Blue Wastelands 2, and he had electroshockers down. They did so much work. And he actually has pretty good early defense capabilities, but that's really only if you have the eco skill tree upgrade to get more money when you start out math. Executioner, I'm gonna put in C tier. Now I know it is getting a rework soon, but right now he's just not in a good place at all. Like somehow he gets power crept by a literal starter tower because he's so old. But I mean, I can't wait to see what they do for him. Here it says he'll stand out a lot from Boomerang, which I do like. I honestly think he's such a cool tower, and I'm glad that they're actually reworking him. And I feel like it's about time, especially with the release of Boomerang. So now we got Farm. I mean, a very obvious S tier, literally one of the best eco towers in the game. Yeah, actually the best, if I'm gonna be honest. Then we got Medic. Medic, definitely high A tier. She's definitely not better than Commander. No, not S tier, but yeah, I mean her fire rate buff is really nice. Her Uber charge is pretty decent, I'd say. It's has a really long cooldown, but you know when you're able to use it, it's really good when you can. But you know, it's just the cooldown's so long, it honestly just brings her down a lot. But and then there's also the shield that she gives, which is really nice. All right, next up we got military base. Now I'm gonna put him in A tier as well. I feel like the military base can honestly like it can just be really good sometimes. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Honestly, it's airstrike, come in clutch a lot. It's just a clutch tower overall. It'll either bless you or it's gonna come out right after you freaking leak like 12 enemies. And then now we got regular pyro. I mean, I'd say like you know middle of B tier. Nothing crazy. It's just a regular pyro. You know, we always got the golden pyro. And then regular scout. I mean, F tier. They're definitely you know better starter towers, which we have right here. Sniper, I'm actually gonna put in D tier. Honestly, Sniper is such a good starter tower. Not only is it free, but it really does shred bosses, like minor bosses. Like the Brute and the Gravedigger for normal and easy. It's just such a good tower for any beginner. I mean, if you just get a ton of them down and put them on strongest, they will absolutely destroy every single boss that they come across. And then speaking of boss shredders, we got Turret. Turret is honestly really underrated. I loved the Turret. I'm not sure about its redesign though. I'm not a big fan of that, but honestly, that doesn't really matter because his stats aren't changed. It's just such a good tower overall. Like the fact that it's so buffable, its DPS is so consistent. I feel like gives it high A tier. So for the Hunter, I'm gonna put it low B tier. I think it's better than Brawler with its early defense. Even if it doesn't have its flying anymore, it doesn't have its triple detections, unfortunately. If it did, you know, S tier would have been the best tower in the game, but I don't see it used often. It is still a fun tower to use it from time to time. I think it's still underrated. I think the fact that it got nerfed so hard, it just pushed people away from it. Actually, I'm gonna move it up. Yeah, but its nerf just absolutely, you know, made people despise the Archer, and I'm a little shocked. I'm actually gonna move these two back here. I think he's balanced. Now, on a Golden Pyro, I'm gonna put this high A tier. I love the Golden Pyro. He's just honestly so fun to use, and he can absolutely carry early game if you pair him with like literally any other early defense tower. He's just so good, and then his defense melting 5-minute burn time or something that's crazy. He's just honestly such a good tower overall. Now for DJ, definitely S tier. I'm gonna put him right next to Commander. I know it does say Commander would be better, but I'd say these two are definitely tied. DJ is a lot more versatile, but you know, Commander with its buffs, honestly, I'd say they're definitely on par. Yeah, honestly, I feel like they're the same. I would prefer DJ usually because it takes a lot less effort, but yeah. So for the Militant, he's also decent. I'd put him a little behind Brawler. He's actually pretty good. He's just like baby's Golden Soldier. Like you wouldn't see anyone who was Golden Soldier use Militant unless it was for a strat or something. So I'd say he's definitely middle, lower, B tier. I mean, he has his uses, but not often. Now, Shotgunner, I really do enjoy. I'm gonna put him high B tier. I think he can have really nice uses, like in that one Void Core strat. I think it's Shotgunner Supremacy. He shines a lot in that. I think he has a lot of good use. I'm actually moving lower A tier. He has a lot of really nice uses. I mean, damage, crowd control. It's just flying detection, which I find it weird that they added, but I'm definitely not complaining. He's just a very good tower overall. Now for Sledger, I personally love Sledger. I'm gonna put him right here. I don't think he's better than Electroshocker in terms of stunning, but I think he's honestly really underrated. I think people don't use him enough. If I'm gonna be Elf Camp, putting in F tier is not good at all. Never use it. Never. Now Engineer. Honestly, I would put it low S tier. It is such a good freaking versatile tower. I mean, that is her whole thing, and honestly, that just makes her literally one of the best towers. She has all 3 detections, like, I think right off the bat, pretty much. She's so good for hardcore, especially solo hardcore. She makes it so easy, I bet. I mean, she has good DPS later stages, even though it's not as good as something like Accelerator. It's still definitely something that's worth your money. She's practically immune to stuns slightly because of her shielded turrets, and it's just such a good tower overall. I definitely use her a lot for things like solo frost. If I'm just bored, I want to make a loadout. I just have for Engineer. She deals with all of early game. Now, someone who used to be like this is the Gladiator, who's right now in C tier, maybe D tier. I put him in D tier. He's definitely not bad, but he just fell off so hard, and it's so noticeable, especially with his Warriors Call nerf, where he has to wait a little bit, just absolutely tore him to shreds. It nerfed, like, if this was 2022, he would be right here. But, he's gotten so many nerfs. He doesn't even have infinite piercing anymore, I don't think. I think he has like a max hit of 3, and it's honestly kind of crazy how much they neutered him. Now, next up, we got Golden Minigunner. I'd put him high A tier. He's definitely, the best solo DPS tower, and that honestly is kind of just what carries him all the way up here. But, I mean, if it wasn't for him, solo Void Core wouldn't be possible. Pretty much any solo challenge probably would not be possible without him. But, other than solo, he's just not very good. So I'm just going to keep him an 8. And then Golden Scout, he's definitely one of the best early game towers. I mean, I wouldn't say he's better than someone like Golden Soldier or Engineer. So I would put him right there. I think that's a good spot. Maybe here. He's good for speedrun strats. He's kind of just like a better Gladiator right now. He's definitely the best speedrun option. So for Jester, it's Jester. It fell off so hard. Like I've been saying with all these towers that I've been falling off, 2023, up here, right up here. It's like the old Toxic Gun. It could confuse bosses. It was so busted, and then just absolutely wiped off the face of the earth with that nerf. Now it's just kind of useless. Like, there's no point in you really bringing. So for regular Soldier, I mean, I put him right there. There's not much to say. Frost Blaster, definitely high A tier. I want to, if it lets me, I'll put it in front there. Such a good freaking tower. I love the Frost Blaster so much. Honestly, he's probably one of my favorite towers. I would have put him in S, but I felt like that would be pretty unfair because, I mean, he's not that good, but I absolutely love him. He's easily the best freezing tower in the entire game, and he's just so freaking good. And I'm honestly shocked that they have not given him any skins yet. It honestly is just disappointing. So on a Gold Soldier, I'd put him above Golden Minigunner. I know that might be a bit of a hot take, but he's just so good for everything. He's like the Engineer, but, not as many detections. Like, He's good for coin grinding strats, like with that easy mode, speed run. He's really good for any kind of early defense. Like all the main game modes, events too. He's really an underrated pick for events. I don't see many people using him for just like nose diving into events. Maybe not hardcore. I wouldn't say he's great for hardcore. Maybe like a death strat, but just in general, he performs very very well. Now we got Merc base. Merc base, well, definitely above military base because he's definitely better. I would say worse than accelerator by a little bit. He definitely has its uses. It definitely has its uses. I think you know it used to be a lot better. Especially for challenges. Even now, it still is. But it's just not as good as it was anymore. Sandwich buff is really nice. Its price does throw me off a little bit. I feel like it is very expensive, but for good reason. Now for the mortar is really good. I mean, unfortunately, not many people use him. He's easily the best crowd control tower in my opinion. I would put him right here. I think lower A tier sounds good for him. Maybe, yeah, right there. I feel like it's a good spot. He's honestly just a really good tower. Not many people use him, surprisingly, and I think he should get a lot more love. So for the Necromancer, this is a very hot topic. Either you would put him in C tier or you put him in S tier. I think definitely low A tier. He has his uses. I think he's pretty decent, but you have to get a very specific spot for him, and it's hard finding 3 placement spots for him. And I feel like at his lower levels just are not good. So I'm actually gonna move him down here. I feel like he could definitely use some kind of rework or buff. So Rocketeer, I'll put it right behind Mortar. He's definitely, he's a really good tower. Easily one of the best intermediate towers in the game. Not much to say. Good damage, good crowd control. Mortar, I would say, is better in both of those regards, though. So Swarmer, I'd put in low A tier, above these 3, I would say. He fell off the lot. He used to solo hardcore with Archer back in the day. Like, literally, there were strats where it was just Swarmer and Archer, and then somehow they would just win with it, but, he fell off. Still good, though. I would put him in E tier, definitely. Yeah, Golden Crook Boss, honestly, before the Kingpin update, he would probably be, like, up here, but the fact that he lost his flying detection, like, puts him here, because now he's kind of just, like, a decent DPS tower, and I don't think he really has much going for him anymore ever since he lost his flying detection. Okay, I just lied. Apparently he does still have flying detection, according to the wiki. It says he still gets it, so considering that, I'm going to move him probably definitely ahead of Golden Minigunner. Yeah, right there. I mean, I did say I would put him there if he had his flying detection, which apparently he does. I don't know if they just didn't update the wiki or not, but I'll put him right here. So I just recorded the segment for Hunter, but apparently I forgot to record, so I would just put him in B tier. He's pretty good. He's pretty decent. So for regular minigunner, yeah, he honestly is pretty useless. I mean, like, I put him right there. He's just not good. Like, especially since Golden Minigunner is just right there, you can just use him. There's not really any point you should be using Golden Minigunner. There's so many better like damage options for beginners, intermediate. It's just not worth it. Only if you're like soloing, he's worth it. But other than that, you shouldn't really use him at all. So Paintballer, Ranger. Ranger's tough. I don't think he's worthy of S. I think. I'd say he's above Golden Cork Boss. I mean, considering the fact that he has AoE in his last level, and he can give range, I feel like that really puts him ahead of Golden Cork Boss. Even if he doesn't have hidden detection, that does really put him back. But I'd say he's still obviously a really good tower. he's definitely one of the best damage towers in the freaking game because there's not really any other tower that competes with him that is on his level. So Mecha Base is not out yet, so I guess I'll put it in F tier. And then Pursuit. Pursuit, honestly, right now is not that great. I'm gonna put Pursuit bottom of A tier. Pursuit's really only good upgrade path is its bottom path. Its top path, honestly, just does not have enough DPS and is way too expensive. But its bottom path, pretty good, pretty decent crowd control. It's not really worth the tower slot to bring, if I'm gonna be honest. But I mean, yeah, honestly, B tier probably. I'll put him right there. So the Freezer's decent. He's not amazing. Yeah, I put him right there. Maybe probably above Commando. Yeah, behind. But definitely worse than Crowmancer. Actually, it's a little high. I put him like right there. No, he's decent freeze tower. If you don't have the 3 ice event towers, then you don't really have any other choice. Honestly, I feel like they should just make Sledger an evergreen tower, so there isn't just one evergreen freeze tower. But I don't know. That's just me. Now Slasher is honestly underrated. I don't know if I'd put him. I think I'd put him above these 3. Maybe a little behind. I think he does have good use cases. He's not great, but he's also not terrible. I do enjoy using him. I think he's honestly a pretty fun tower to use, and I think he's super underrated, despite what people say. Now for Toxic Gunner, would be S tier, but B tier, not very good at all. No hidden detection. Okay, he's just okay overall, really. There's not much to say about him. Trapper's pretty good. I don't know if I'd put him in A tier. I think I would. I think I'd put him very bottom. Maybe above Necromancer. Hot take, I know, but I think he's pretty decent. And then Warden. Warden is also really, like the Slasher, I feel like he's super underrated. I don't see him getting used much. I think I would put him... No, not above these two. I would put him right here. I'm actually going to move up Golden Scout. I'll put him right there. Yeah, I feel this is a good spot. Maybe behind Warden. Yeah. Like his new ability where I think it's every time he lands a crit, he gets like... Oh, no. Every time he gets stunned at max level, he gets like a crazy damage boost. And then, he can also stun, a lot of DPS. I think what they did with him is really cool because we don't have any melee DPS towers at all that does what he does. So War Machine, also not out, never coming out probably. I doubt he ever would because I'm pretty sure they said he wasn't. And then regular Cowboy, it's not bad. Golden Cowboy exists. I'll put him right there. Yeah. And then Golden Cowboy, he's really good. Obviously not better than the Farm. I don't think there are any eco towers that are better than Farm. I think I would put him right there. Probably above, actually. Yeah, I'd put him right here. He definitely has very good use cases. His eco is decent. I mean, he clears up 2 spots, your early game and your farming. So I think that's honestly a really cool addition to the game, and I'm glad that they added him. And yeah. So the Boomerang's I think he's pretty good. I didn't use him really because I'm not really a type of guy, but I'd put him right there. Yeah, bottom B tier, maybe top of C tier. I'm thinking definitely behind Sniper. And then we got the Glue Gunner. Glue Gunner. I've seen strats using Glue Gunner. I think there's a hidden wave strat actually. I think he's actually pretty good. I think honestly, this is a bit of a hot take. I think Glue Gunner is better for the later game modes, while Sniper is honestly better for the earlier game modes for you to use. So for that, I think Glue Gunner would overall be better. Probably, honestly, better than Toxic Gunner. I know, but I honestly, he slows down a lot more, and he also does a lot more damage, if I'm not mistaken. So we got Assassin. Assassin's decent. Maybe not A tier material. I would say better than probably top B tier. I mean, he's pretty good, not terrible. Good for speedruns. Good for Badlands, especially like the quick draw. Yeah, he's definitely good for that. I've seen him used really well in quick draw, and he's just pretty good overall. I think he's a really nice melee tower. Now Tesla, definitely high A tier. I don't even know why, because his DPS is freaking horrible. I think yeah, right there. Yeah, better than Electric. Okay, so I don't know why, but every time I place him down, he has like 20 DPS, and he has like 300,000 damage at the end of the match, and I just get so confused. It's probably because of the smite, but even still, it is absolutely crazy the numbers this guy can put up. So Saboteur, I'm a little conflicted. I don't think it's S tier. I don't think he is capable of being S tier, even low S tier. But his Neuralize, or whatever his ability is called, it's really good. Like really good. It's like, I know pretty much every Void Core strat uses him. So you could also make the same logic for Frost Blaster, because he's also used. So I think these two could maybe be on. I actually don't think so. I think Saboteur is worse. And I'm actually going to move down Frost Blaster. I think he should not be that high. I'm going to put him right. I'm going to put both of them right in between. I think that's a good spot for him. Now for Hacker. Hacker. I honestly think Hacker is S tier. Because if you think about it, I mean, there's so many things you can do Hacker. You can clone Juggernauts. There's that bug recently, which lets you clone Gatling gun like 5 times, and it's crazy. So I think she actually does very much deserve to be an S tier for that. Now Operator, um, it's hard, honestly. I honestly think Golden Soldier is better. Golden Minigunner might be better, honestly. He's definitely balanced. I would not say that he's bad, because people think he's going to be fundamentally bad to people because he's not a later game tower. He's an early game tower. And that's the problem, because no matter how many buffs he gets, no matter how many rebalances he gets, he's always going to be considered bad because he's an early game tower. That's kind of how it's meant to be. And he's only going to be seen as just a better Golden Soldier wherever I put him. Yeah, right here. But even that, I feel like he's not better than Golden Soldier. I prefer Golden Soldier a lot more, because Operator, you need to focus so much money on Operator just for it to be better than Golden Soldier, and for that, I honestly don't think it's better than Golden Soldier whatsoever. Now, from what I had heard, I actually don't own him 4C yet. He's pretty good. I'm gonna put him right here. I don't really know much about him at all. I know he flashbangs and then spawns the Jeep or Humvee or whatever, like the old Enforcer, but he's decent. I think. I think he's decent. I think he's pretty good, so I'm gonna put him in A. He's an evolved tower, so it's kind of hard for him to be bad. So yeah. Now Kingpin, I barely use Kingpin, but I know he is good. So courtesy, I gotta put him high in A tier. I definitely don't think he's S tier. I think he's very balanced. I think he's exactly where he should be. Now Juggernaut, easily S tier. Best DPS tower, honestly. Synergizes really well with Hacker. He has all 3 detections across 2 paths, so you get a top and bottom path Juggernaut, you're set for the game pretty much. And yeah, honestly, just one of the best DPS tower in the game. In my opinion, I use him so freaking much, and he is honestly just so good. Alright, now that is all for this tier list. If you disagree, or if you would make any changes, please make sure to comment and like and subscribe if you liked the video. Thank you.